Oh yeah, wonderful people out there. Got another loud music day going. Oh, sorry about that. Of course, as soon as the literal moment I got the phone out and everything, let's relocate a little bit. It's my second time kind of documenting the workout here at this gym, so trying to be as respectful, inconspicuous as possible. So, starting to work out off with some warming up and stretches, of course. Ooh. Always gotta stretch, warm up the body, especially during winter time. These muscles waking up. Got some cold muscles going. So this workout today is gonna be nice and quick. For the most part, all the workouts are nice and quick. Not a huge fan of like hour and a half, 2 hour long workouts. My energy just gets too depleted by the time an hour passes. Plus, studies have shown that there's very much just significant diminishing returns after about like 45 minutes of working out. What that means is it's not that you're not going to get any gains or results by working out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but after the 45-minute point of like actual training, the results you get aren't going to be significantly greater. In fact, the amount of results could be less. So, for example, you work out for 45 minutes and then you think, wow, if I double that, I'll get double the results. And unless you're training for like endurance specifically, that's just not how it works. It'd be like I love this analogy. Like imagine like a buddy of yours says, "Hey, can you help me move over the weekend? Um, I'll pay you $100 for helping me out for the hour." And it's like, wow, yeah, $100 for the hour. I'll do that. And then the hour goes by, and then they're like, "Hey, could you stay for another hour? But I'll only pay you $5." It's like, oh, no. But then they're like, all right, well, if you come back tomorrow, can you help me out for the hour? This time I'll pay you $100 for the hour. And it's like, well, yeah, sign me up. So that's kind of like what you can picture with the workouts. Ooh. But if you're not focused or efficient with your workout, then yeah, it might take an hour and a half. Not that I suggest it, but a lot of times people, it's like, check Instagram, going through text messages. I'm looking at my budget sheet, looking at my bank account and stuff. In fact, Started the workout about like 10 minutes later than I originally had wanted. All right, cool. Just making sure I still have my car keys. But yeah, I started the workout 10 minutes later than I was originally planning because I was going through my budget sheet. And I know this is a fitness channel and stuff, but I would say hands down one of the things that has significantly helped with improving my financial situation has been keeping a sheet, like a Google sheet or something, where I write down how much money I bring in and then how much money I'm spending each month. And then projecting that out for the rest of the year. So I kind of like underestimate how much I'm going to make by a little bit, and then I overestimate how much I'm going to spend. And ideally, you end up making more and spending less. But the thing that's nice is you can, after a couple weeks of keeping track, and then a couple months of making adjustments, you get a really good idea of what your financial situation's looking like, and it allows you to kind of project out for the rest of the year. So, for example, my buddy, he's having a wedding in April, and originally I was not able to go. I just was like, I can't afford going to your wedding, and like I spent like months really wrestling with like, am I going to be able to afford it or not? And when I was doing the math, I just was like, I can't afford to go. Like, I can't pay to fly to Mexico and miss work for like 4 days if I have to pay for everything right now. And this was back in like November. And then recently he had reached out and I was like, bro, I just want to let you know there's still time. Like if you're able to make it, that'd be awesome. But if you haven't bought your tickets yet or anything, there's still time. This says that, yeah, we're foam rolling here. It's hard to see the foam roller there. It's like a little self massage. This thing, foam roller, fantastic. If y'all do not foam roll every day, you are 100% missing out on just feeling better. So, yeah, my friend was like, still time? And I was like, you know what, let me look. So I looked at the budget sheet, and I was like, you know what? I can afford it. If I were to look at the immediate, like right now, if I were to look at my bank account, I'd be like, there's no way I can afford to pay for a flight and hotel in Mexico. But then looking at the budget sheet, I'm like, wait a second. If I pay right now, I won't have to pay it off on my credit card until a month from now. And then in a couple weeks, next Friday, I get paid. And then on the first of the month, I'm getting paid from, training clients and stuff. And then I still have one more week where I get paid again. And I was like, holy crap, I can afford this. And then even stuff where it's like, oh man, but what about, my other regular expenses? And it's like, well, look at the budget sheet. I was like, I don't gotta pay off my personal credit card until March. I was like, heck yeah, I got this. So it's like a bank account running very, very thin. But it's that power of that budget sheet. And it's funny because I didn't think I was going to be talking about finances right now on a fitness channel. But making sure You're tracking and managing your money is very important. The habits, the routines that you do for your health can very easily translate over to other areas. Like, you should see my Excel sheet for tracking all my workouts. Well, it's not an Excel sheet, it's Google Sheet. But literally, like, from tracking my workouts, the reps and everything, I was like, I can do the same thing for the money that I'm bringing in. And it's also just a very interesting, like, mindset as well. Like, if you're working out, you're training to build your body to grow, you got to be disciplined in some areas. There's some foundational things where it's like, okay, like with building muscle, nutritionally, like, the biggest needle movers, it's going to be the calories, it's going to be the protein. And you know what you got to do? You got to track that stuff. A lot of people don't like tracking it because they don't like seeing what the numbers are showing. The same is true with the finances. They don't want to track it because they don't like seeing what the numbers are looking like. But that pain, use that as a motivator. You're not gonna stumble your way into managing your money better. It does not happen. Like, oddly enough, there's habits that people who are wealthy do that people that are unwealthy don't do. There are habits that unwealthy people do that wealthy people don't do. So the whole thing of, like, looking at how much you're making. Wealthy people do that. They gotta track that. They gotta know how much money's coming in, how much they're spending. People that don't have wealth, they don't do that because they don't like looking at how small the numbers are. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't look at the numbers now, like, at what point will you? It's like, oh, well, the numbers go up. It's like, yeah, but how are you going to know that that's going to happen? One habit that wealthy people don't do is spend more than they make, because it's physically impossible to build more wealth if you're spending more than you make. Like, there's a story that I'd be telling people about how early on business career stuff, I had taken out a line of credit, and this is for a different business venture that I started, but it's really helped teach me a lot. But I had taken out a line of credit equivalent to the amount of money that I made. Actually, yeah, the amount of money I had made for an entire year. And big majority of that line of credit went towards learning some skills that were very helpful. The other half, I learned some valuable lessons. We'll put it that way. And I was in debt. I owed more. I owed what I was making in an entire year. And that's very difficult. You got 13% interest that grows on the thing, and you can't pay half of the thing off in a year because that's half of your income for the year. Like, how are you going to pay for rent and groceries and things like that? So it was very difficult to pay off, but I phrase it that way where, like, you don't know how much I'm making a year. Maybe I make $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year. But when I would tell people, like, the actual amount of the line of credit, some expressions and some things that people say, they'd be like, oh, that's not that much. It's like, well, yeah, relative to you. Imagine if you owed how much you make in an entire year, and then they're like, oh, yeah, dang, you don't. At the time, it was really not that much I was making. In fact, and then going back to tracking your finances here. When I was doing my taxes, I found out. I was like, oh my gosh, I could be eligible for food stamps and Medicaid. Are you kidding me? Like, I didn't even realize, but I was like, no wonder it feels like everything is so tight, like money wise. Like, I just was like paying huge chunks towards the line of credit, not spending money on like anything except for like supplements and protein powders and food. And yeah, it was a very challenging time. But there's this guy, Paul, in this ancient Hebrew text, talks about how he's learned how to manage life when he's had a lot and when he's had a little. You develop those habits of being able to enjoy life when you got a little, you'll be able to enjoy life even more when you got more. But if you can't be trusted with a little, you can't be entrusted with a lot. Yeah. So there's some financial lessons on the fitness channel there. So I guess financially fit. All right, almost done with the warm up here. Yeah, so this foam rolling stuff, super, super crucial. When I slack on using this thing, like, look at this thing. Ugh. I give it the nickname Helga, because I just imagine like big Russian woman just digging her elbows into you. Relaxing massage. But it feels fantastic. Chances of getting injury significantly decreases. Tension, headaches, body pains go away. You gotta do it consistently. Yo, what's going on, Juwan? Trapped nerve in the right product. I mean, how to stretch, help loosening that. Yeah, thing that's super helpful, doing that, the foam roller, massaging it out. That's one thing I highly recommend. And in a moment, we're actually going to do some stretches here for the legs and hips. So you could literally copy this routine I'm about to do here with the stretches, and it'll help. But you got to do it every day. And if anything, do it twice a day. And if you got time, take your time with it. But I think like short durations sprinkled throughout the day, you probably notice better results than just like holding the stretches for long periods of time. So, and if you got lower back pain, this is fantastic for it as well. So I just like to start off with split leg hamstring stretch here. We just kind of alternate each side. Then we do a side lunge. And it's hard to tell at this angle here, but it's crucial. Pushing that knee out and back. Knee should not be over the toe. You want the knee lined up with the heel there. And just keep prying that out, and then same thing, other side. Prying the knee outwards and back. And now we just do good little runner's lunge stretch here. Working on the hip flexors. And with this Really want to make sure that pelvis is nice and straight. Back leg straight. And then you can kind of like lean up, drive that hip forward. And this is a Goku stretch here. Similar to the other one that I was doing, where I was saying, oh, drive the knee out. Ooh, this one's just a little bit lower. It's tougher. So you can start with like on a chair or something like that. Ooh. Then we do the same thing, other side. And with this, I like to start kind of leaning forward so I can get like the depth going, and then I can progressively kind of like lean up, drive those hips forward. It's a very simple leg stretch routine right there. Literally all that stuff I just showed. That's going to help resolve 90% of lower back, hip, buttock pain right there. You could add in a glute stretch. Thing you could do, you get like a chair. And if you're good with balance, you just do it standing up, or you could do this laying down. But, crisscross leg over, grab your chair or some type of surface, provide you support, and just sit down. You're going to feel that stretch right there. Sit down. Make sure the leg's not up like this. You won't feel it there. Tabletop, flat surface. Down. One side might be more tight than the other. Oh, good glute stretch there. Oh, we're going to take a little energy drink sip here. That really hurt. Actually, good stretch. Yeah, I'd be getting that. I was thinking when I got a son, calling him Ashton, because Ashton, Casson, kind of is like, but if his friends call him Ash Casson, it kind of sounds like Ash Ketchum, so it's like a Pokemon reference. Yeah, if it hurts, be mindful of that. Oh, tender is one thing. Sore is one thing. But pain, you gotta be careful with that. The point's not to hurt yourself, just to make yourself better. Yeah, that's why I like to suggest doing it very lightly, short periods of time, multiple times throughout the day. Because, for example, if it's very early for you and you just woke up out of bed, your body has been stagnant for 6 to 8 hours, not moving. You think those muscles are going to be nice and loosey-goosey if they've not been moving for 8 hours? Plus, if it's cold in the morning, that just adds to the stiffness. So you could do the stretch to help warm up the body in the morning, and then in the afternoon, do it again. And this body's a little bit more warmed up by that point. Do it a third time, and it's like, oh man, really noticing some good changes there. But it might not be resolved in one day. If you do it 2-3 times a day, 5-7 days in a row, I 100% guarantee it feels better. Sweet. Now, time to start the workout, the actual workout. It's going to be fun because we'll be using some dumbbells. Heck yeah. Ooh. Yesterday was barbells. Today, ooh, is dumbbells. Now, fortunately, didn't go super crazy, with the weights and stuff yesterday because I knew it's going to be coming in, hitting the same muscle groups again today. Because I refer to it as like a metabolic workout boost. Mainly just to get back into good routine, good swing of things. Let's see. Just finding good location because, oh darn! Just remember we got pull-ups with this one as well. Doesn't matter if it's good enough. What they say. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. Alright. Been looking forward to summer just for the heat. It's a little tough getting the body warmed up, but it's fun though, the muscle pump. Alright, so we got incline, a dumbbell bench press for 12 reps. And I'm thinking we are going to use 50 pounds here just to feel it out. Wow, it's the 30th of January already. All right. How's everyone else's week been going? Excited for the weekend? Ooh, all right. Disembodied voice over here. We are on the search. Ooh, all right. We've successfully secured the package. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. I like that song. It's a feel-good song. It's good to remind yourself of that. Sometimes things take time, and everything is going to be all right. All right. I think this camera angle is fine. Again, trying to be respectful, mindful of the environment, people around me. All right, 12 reps here, and then we're going to be going into a body weight wide grip pull-ups. You're going to like that. You're going to like the form. All right. Oh, fantastic. We got a spot to do the pull-up, try her. Let's see. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that action. Got the camera going. That should be good. This is Alec's subconscious that you're tapping into here on the radio waves. What he's currently doing is procrastinating, taking some time because pull-ups are tough. Wide grip, good form, all the way up, all the way down. Now what he's actually doing is just setting the Apple Watch up. All right. Good little stretcheroo here. How many reps do you think we're going to go for? I'm going to say 16. Whew. Told you. It's pretty good form there. Well, actually, I don't know. You're going to have to let me know. Felt like it was a good form. So, going to bump up the weights for the dumbbells here. Whew. Oh, I can't believe it's been more than 30 minutes and I've not even done the pleasure of formally inviting you all to show that support. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. If you're not new here and you already are subscribed, then say hello in the comments. Let me know what y'all have been doing over the week. Some fun stuff. Looking forward to the weekend. All right. It's funny, I was saying how friends got the wedding coming up. Me getting back serious into consistently hitting the gym here. A big motivator. Ugh. I'm a fitness guy. Got to be looking crazy fit for the Mexico beach photos going on. You already know. All right, we're going to bump these weights up to 55s. Let's see. Because the other 50s felt good, but we're only doing one more set here. It's an odd workout, this full body one, but it's like I said, I picture it as this metabolic reset. It's just getting the body like synchronized. All right, let's do this. Got another 12 reps here. Nice, that one felt better. All right. We're gonna put these guys back. See, dumbbell curl. Oh no, we're not working arms. I'm looking at the workout sheet right here. Yeah, the one thing I'm not doing during the full body is like arms. So I got a really good mass building arm routine I've just been working on. So I still want to keep that as its own separate day. But we do got shoulders, a little bit of legs. Let's see, so the machine for the pull-ups is being used at the moment, so we will get things set up for our next exercises here. Because let's see, so we're going to be working the rear delt and lateral delt here for the shoulders. So originally I had written to use dumbbells for the rear delt, but there's a really good like barbell variation. So we're gonna do that one instead. In fact, we gotta change locations anyway, so we're gonna find a different spot to do these pull-ups at. The guy on the machine is looking like he's really in the zone. I don't want to disrupt the focus. Let's see. All right. Bicep size, fat percentage. It's a good question about the bicep size. I am actually not too sure, but the arms in general look like they got some good size to it. Not trying to, toot my own horn over here, but just been pretty focused with it. But the secret to getting bigger arms is you got to eat a lot of pine cones. No, it's the tricep. It's the triceps. You grow the triceps. It's like 2/3 of your arm is your tricep, 1/3 is just your bicep here. Like the biceps help with like the frontal shape of it, but the size is going to be from triceps there. But then body fat percentage wise, I might be like 10 to 12 ish, like abs kind of there. But whenever I slack on training them, they don't stay as visible. All right, we are running low on time here. Let's see, it's probably gonna be like 14 reps here with this one. Oh, shoulder work. You are absolutely right. Just waiting to get the arms used. I get started now. But yeah, no, the shoulders, that is a hack. If you spam your lateral delts, like lateral raises, get crazy good at that, build those shoulders, it immediately makes your arms look bigger. All right, so we only did 12 there, but that's fine. So, speaking of shoulders, it's time to hit some shoulders. And it's actually a fantastic space to do so. We got everything we need right here, baby. Yeah. Let's see, let's set this bad boy up right there. Liking this zone. Let's see. Gotta write it down. Gotta keep track. So, shoulders. We're gonna be doing the rear and also the lateral delts here. So for the lateral delts, Brokey Jim, yeah. Oh man, my bad. I'm gotta catch up on comments here. So height 6'1", hands on, not on roids or nothing. Just a lot of protein shakes. But yes, 100% natural. 17. But yeah, I could do 20. I did 16 reps earlier. But not trying to go so much for like reps, more so just like really feel it in the shoulders there, shoulder activation going. So, all right, got to grab the weights real quick. So, let's see. For the lateral raises, got ourselves 35, and then rear delts, we'll go 30s. So I had I'm trying to think of the technical term for it. A scapulo-clavicular joint injury, inflammation. Basically, the clavicle goes up here, inserts near the scapula. I was doing some push-up thing I saw on TikTok. Such bull crap. And anyway, I got an overuse injury on my shoulder. After doing some research, found out it's because I had some underdeveloped rear delts. They're much more prominent now, but at the time I was like, you know what? I don't train rear delts at all. So to heal it, to rehab it, I was very intentional with doing rear delt exercises. And this is one of my favorite ones I'm about to show you. So we can get big like Arnold's. Yes. Looking great. Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, the feel. Oh man, yeah, it's like personal art project. So with this, elbows got to pinch inwards, and you just want to focus on that rear delt squeezing. Let's bring the arms back like that. So easy 12 there. I'm gonna bump it up to the 40s, but it's weird because it's not a lot of motion, but it's one of those exercises where you have to feel it in the area that you're working. And that goes with any exercise. If you're not feeling it in the area of the muscle that you're trying to work, then you're not doing it right. That's simple as that. Like a while back, I was working with a client. We're doing bench press. At the end, he was like, whew, man, my shoulders and triceps, man, are on fire. I was like, nice. Let's lower the weight. And he was like, what? Lower the weight? Why? I'm like, well, we're doing bench press. You should be feeling it in your chest. And he's like, no, but I want to lift heavier weight. I was like, do you want to lift heavier weight or do you want to grow your chest? He's like, well, I guess I want to grow my chest, but I want to improve my bench as well. And it's like, yeah, well, to do that, we got to lower the weight. It's like, guess why your shoulders and triceps are sore? It's because they're taking over the exercise. So you got to lower the weight. Body gets more confident in moving the weight with the muscle group you're trying to lift it with, which would be the chest. And then guess what? You're going to feel it in your chest. And he's like, all right, I'll trust you. Lowered the weight. He was like, holy crap. I've not been feeling it in my chest this whole time until now. That's crazy. I'm like, all right. Body's going to do the path of least resistance if it's not comfortable with moving that amount of weight with a particular muscle. It's not going to do it. So got kicked out of every Planet Fitness. I didn't know you've gone to this one before. Seems effective for rear delts. Yeah, this thing, crazy good. Never seen this move in my life. It's one of those unheard of ones, but like that rear delt sells it. It sells the shoulder. Like if anything, my front delt is probably slacking a little bit, but it's helping give that separation in the front there. Like I find that when I do chest, I secondarily am using the front delt a decent amount, and then spamming that side delt gets that separation there, really makes the arms look big, but then the rear delt is what sells the shoulders looking big. Because that's what I found. I'm like doing the rear delts, I'm like, nice, my arms are looking bigger. I'm like, but my shoulders don't look bigger. And it's because the rear delt really helps to tie it all together. Oh, I'm totally gonna forget to do my left arm here. And if you're liking these tips so far, Make sure to show that support. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, only got time for one more set. It stinks. I don't like skipping the legs. Darn, missed legs again. No, but seriously, though, legs are important to hit. Heading back soon! Exclamation point. Cool. All right, let's get that rear delt action going. So this one I like to grab like the outer part of the bar there. And again, elbows not flared out. You gotta squeeze them in. You're trying to get those inner parts of the elbows touching each other. You kind of feel it in your lats a little bit when doing that. So, but yeah, squeeze it in and then just using that rear delt. Whew. It's a good one. Yeah, that one, very, very important to go light with the weight. So many other muscle groups are gonna try their hardest to take over the movement. It's not one of those things where point A to point B is, the point is not to get the weight from point A to point B. The intention of the exercise is to feel it in the rear delt. So, oh yeah, but I forgot to say, so yeah, the Planet Fitness being for real lifters. Yeah, like if you're doing like powerlifting stuff, definitely not the place. If coming in and like grunting and being rambunctious is the game, it's definitely not the place for that. I like it. It's calm. I just come in, I do what I need to do, and everyone respects their own thing. I try to be respectful and mindful when streaming. All right, gotta hurry up. Sweet. That is the workout right there. I'd say that was about 25 minutes of actual work going in. Why single arm? Just so I can be more like intentional with feeling it in the shoulder that I'm working. I found with both arms, it's a little bit harder for me to kind of lock in with the shoulder there. Plus, you can do some cool tricks of like leaning to one side to feel it even more. All right. Yeah, we got to head out. I got to take the little one to school, drop her off. And I'm not talking about going to the bathroom. All right. Let's see. Who's no expert? Y'all setting the standard high. Oh man, I remember. So, for y'all that don't know my background, so certified trainer. Trying to think, I've been certified for like over 10 years now, but being a certified personal trainer ain't nothing. You could do a little course online, be a certified trainer. But certifications through ACE, and got a bachelor's degree in health and exercise science, Syracuse University, graduate 2017, baby. But I remember I was applying to be a personal trainer at this gym, and interview went really weird. The person who was conducting the interview, this older lady, you just get the vibe that like her whole thing was just essentially just like know-it-all type of trainer. She could talk science, but it's like, all right, ma'am, where's the results for yourself? You know what I mean? But anyway, interview went really weird. She asked about my experience working with trans people. I was like, transgenders? She was like, what? I was like, you asked about my experience of working with trans people? I mean, I have friends that are trans. She's like, no. I said, what's your experience training people? I'm like, oh, sorry. I definitely did not hear that at first. So whole interview went really weird. But anyway, by the end of it, a couple days later, get an email saying, sorry, we're just, looking for people with a bit more, background and experience. And at the time, I think I was certified for maybe like 6 or 7 years. And like I said, I've got the bachelor's degree in health and exercise science from a university. And on top of all of that, there was a period of time where I was working as a surgeon at the eye and tissue bank. So I was the one doing surgeries on people that came in who had passed away and were on the organ donor list and whatnot. I was the one getting, well, not the organs, but the eyes and tissue. And they wanted to find someone with a bit more of an extensive background and experience. I'm like, well, I couldn't even think. Like, I was going to say, who are you looking for? Dr. Oz? But I'm like, I don't even, like, what? It baffled me. It was just the weirdest thing. But oddly enough, though, like, certifications, degrees, like they are important. Like, the depth of not just knowledge, but the depth of understanding that I have, and I'm not like trying to I'm not like bolstering myself up here, but like the depth of understanding that comes from doing something like going to a university, being certified, getting those certifications is helpful when it is learned to be applicable. So, mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. How does that help? How am I going to be healthier with that? It's but when you can learn in order, like a thing that had helped me significantly in college was learning so that I can teach other people how to do it. That type of mindset shift when it came to retaining information was so helpful, because I'm not just, at least for me, when I was learning, it wasn't just about regurgitating the info so that I could answer if it's A, B, C, or D on a multiple choice quiz, but like learning so that I could articulate it to someone who maybe hasn't taken biology 101, you know? Like, I remember hearing this thing about how, like, the true measure of someone's intelligence or mastery of a particular area is their ability to simply to explain it in a simple way. So if someone's trying to explain to you how muscle growth works, and they're like, well, on a biological level, the actin and myosin filaments slide and interlock between each other when there's increased tension on the particular. It's like, all right, first off, actin and myosin filaments, not a lot of people even know what that is. Second of all, what are you going to do with that? Even if I explain what it is, it's like, how does that actually help me grow more muscle? But when you can tell someone like, hey, you need to do these few particular things when you are exercising, and when you do these things, the body responds by growing more muscle. Then it's like, oh, cool. What are those things? And then it's like you just tell the person what to do. So here's a good little hack. When it comes to building more muscle, you want to make sure the last rep is like the last rep you can do. So talking about, going to failure. And the thing that's cool with that is if you get to failure by the 12th, the 16th rep, the body's still going to respond by growing muscle. Doesn't have to be 6 reps. Doesn't have to be 8 reps. It's like, Alec, how could that be true? I thought you had a lift big to get big. And it's like, well, a byproduct of building more muscle is that you will build strength. But building strength does not necessarily guarantee you're going to be building more muscle. Prime example, stories of moms that can lift a car to save their baby that's, trapped inside of it or whatever. And did that mom grow a lot of muscle in that short time span? No. There's just this untapped potential that we have within our bodies, but our brains intentionally inhibit our bodies from tapping into that strength, because if we do, we're going to be ripping our biceps off at the tendon. Like that's what happens. So the stories of the moms that lift the cars, they don't realize it at the time after the adrenaline wears off and everything. They pulled their muscles, stuff's torn and ripped. But all that to say, we got a lot of strength. We got a lot of hidden strength. So if you go in the gym and you're trying to just build your strength, your body's going to get more confident at lifting the heavier weights, and you'll be able to lift the heavier weights, but its focus is going to just be lifting heavier weights. So getting to that failure point at 12 reps, 16 reps, it could be 8 reps, don't get me wrong, but the lower the reps, the greater the risk of getting injured, at least in my own personal experience. But it's very tough to pull a muscle, to injure oneself if you're able to do 16 reps of an exercise. And then if it's a thing too where it's like, all right, well, where's the proof? For over a year, close to like 2 years now, very, very rarely have I done anything less than 12 reps. And I've gotten greater gains in the last 2 years of like doing that, last 2 to 3 years of doing that, than I have, in practically my whole career of exercising and lifting weights. And gotta wrap up the stream here, but that's just like one of the many little tips there of things you can do to, oh no, camera down. That's just one of the many tips you could do when it comes to modifying your current exercise routine to optimize your muscle growth there. Another little tip as well, move the weight more slowly. You don't gotta go fast with it. And then last but not least, take time with your rest periods. Go like 2 to 5 minutes. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, I gotta wrap up here. I'm running late, taking the little one to school. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to do so. Go out, go sweat, drink protein shakes. If you got questions, ask them. Watch the videos on my main channel. Got full-length stuff explaining more fitness concepts. Anyway, appreciate having you guys here. Have a fantastic weekend. Till next time. Peace. Let me see if do you know Elsa Kenwood? I do not. I read scientists say doing 10 to 15 reps is enough to build muscle. Yes. I know a lot about fitness, so self-teaching, reading, doing stuff. But teach people core. If they don't listen, I want to do the work. Yeah, I've always had issues. People listening to the advice. And then when people do listen to the advice, you know what they say? They're like, man, I just got to listen to Alec. So listen to the stuff. I know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.